Hola familia, I'm Rosaline, and this is Growing Up Spanglish, a podcast about the chaos of being raised between two cultures. If you grew up speaking English at school and Spanish at home, navigating traditions, family expectations, and everything in between, then you're in the right place. Our stories, our experiences, and maybe a little chisme along the way. This podcast is recorded at Collab Studios in the heart of Miami. We're going to kick things off like we do every episode with our word of the day.
Facts.
Reverse Inglés sin barreras, because we're actually teaching KJ how to speak Spanish every week.
I'm locked in.
We're like 4 words in so far.
This is me at colegio. All right? You feel me?
I love it.
Hey.
All right, so today's word is, I wouldn't say slang, but just like more relaxed.
Dímelo.
Kind of.
Yeah, let's go. Hey, you feel me? I'm out here.
All right, so today's word is chévere.
Chevere.
Chévere.
Chevere.
You ever heard that one before?
Chevere. Nah.
No?
Honestly, no. I'm trying to think. Is this like a Puerto Rican word or
Like, I know that there's some, like, I know Venezolanos use that word a lot, actually. So,
Chevere.
chévere.
Chevere. Chevere.
Do you have an idea of what it would mean?
I feel like I'm like 0-7 for these, bro. Every time I guess, it's just the L. So I'm gonna guess, but like I'm prepared to take the L.
Okay.
I would have said cool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I would have said cool. Like I would have said cool. Like swag. Like chill vibes.
That's literally what it means. Cool. It means awesome.
I don't know how hype I am because I've been guessing. Every episode had been wrong, dog. Like, oh
Look
shit.
at
Okay,
you.
yeah, hell yeah, let's go.
And that's just kind of like how it feels when it rolls off the tongue. It's like, it feels like it's a chill word. So
Say it one more time for me.
Chévere. Yeah.
Chévere.
Like, esos tenis están bien chévere.
Hey, I knew that mean. My sneakers is cool. Look at me, I'm learning. I can't say it back, but chévere.
Yeah.
Okay,
there you go.
chévere.
That's
How you spell it?
good.
How you spell it?
Chevere. I know there's those little thingy majiggers.
The
I don't know
accents.
where they're at.
Aight.
I ain't even gonna hold you.
Chevere.
Yeah.
Chévere. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm rolling. Today
All right.
we're gonna be chévere.
Yes,
Yeah,
real chévere.
Real chévere. All right, bet. Let's get it.
Today's guest is a bold, creative force bridging the worlds of street art, pop culture, and digital innovation. Hailing from nowhere else but the 305, Coinslot is a multidisciplinary artist whose work you've likely seen on murals all over the city, in galleries, or lighting up your feed with a little controversy on Instagram. Coinslot's art is instantly recognizable. It's playful, clever, and charged with cultural commentary. From repurposing dollar bills to reimagining childhood icons with a satirical twist, he's not just painting on walls, he's building a brand, a movement, and a message. Please welcome to the show, Alex, a.k.a. Coinslot.
Hey, welcome.
Can I steal that?
I got
I thought it's so legit. That was good. That was good.
I got you, fam. You
I
can
need
use it
that.
as a little bio.
I
you
love
feel
it.
me?
I'm definitely going to use that one.
I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank
We've
you
been
for
trying
having
to
I know.
make this thing happen for a while.
Definitely.
I feel like you were a little scared.
I still am.
Why? We don't.
No, we don't
good over
bite.
here. We don't
White
bite.
table. I got the whole interrogation vibe going on. Like, tell me what you do.
No. We're here to hear your story, talk about some things, and hopefully make you cry. Just kidding. No.
God.
We try to get you to open up so
Yeah.
you're sentimental. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you
Crying
want
a good
to,
way, yeah.
that happens.
Hey,
Just kidding.
hey, a couple of those
Right.
in. Who knows? You don't know.
Right off bat, your love for the city where you're from, it shows throughout a lot of the things that you do. So take us back to your childhood. Where were you born? What city do you rep?
305 to the fullest. I love it. It feels great to be back home too. I was in LA for 8 years. I was born literally in the heart of Miami, like right next to where it used to be the Flagler Dog Track, which now is
Okay.
the Magic City Casino. So it's
Oh,
like
okay.
the real Miami-Dade County. Born and raised, Cuban father, Honduran mother.
Oh,
So
I
I'm-
didn't know your mom was from
Yeah,
Honduras.
I'm half Catracho. So yeah, I'm first generation, Cuban-American.
Were your parents that immigrated here?
Well, with the status, can I say that now?
Absolutely.
No.
We're
both
proud.
Both of my parents, they were immigrants, and now they have their citizenship here.
Did they meet here? Where did they meet?
They met here.
I'm always curious because Cuban and Honduras, like, how did they come
I
together?
don't know. I'm curious that too, honestly.
You gotta
the other
ask.
day, I feel like a lot of, I don't know, some Hispanic parents, like by the time they pass, you ask yourself, did I really know my parents?
Yeah.
Because like they're not like our generation, which puts everything on the internet. They keep a lot of secrets to protect us.
That's true.
So like they will hold back what they went through. If they struggle, they don't want to show you or let you know that struggle out of pride. So it won't reflect on you. So like I think like from what I heard, I think my parents met and shortly after I popped up.
Okay.
And I know my dad had me like in the later years. I think it was 40. But he was already hoeing around before then. Like I think I'm like the third son. Like sorry, the third child.
Okay. You have siblings?
Yeah, I do. I have a half sister and one I haven't met.
Oh, okay.
That I don't know where she's at.
Okay,
She's
gotcha.
somewhere.
Gotcha,
And I have
gotcha.
my full blood sister. We hated each other, but that's what siblings do. Like,
Are y'all closer now?
yeah, it's weird. It's like you grow up and you still have love for one another, but it's like, I know you're doing your own thing. I'm doing mine.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand like an artist's career. Like, why don't you do this? Or they'll see me slow for 1 month and like, yo, you should look into doing this. I'm like, yo, I'm okay.
And they're like, you should go work for the city hall. They've got great benefits.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, I'm just having one slow month.
Well, now after they've seen like push my house, like I sold it, they're like, you should be a real estate agent. And I'm like,
oh, Dios. No.
I'm okay. You seen how
Sells
far
one house all of a sudden.
Yeah. I'm
Oh
a
my
real estate
God.
agent now. I know. Lovely.
That's today in general.
Yeah.
You shoot one video, you're a director.
Oh my
You know,
God.
you ain't shoot.
You get
But-
one viral video accidentally, and
And you're
all
a
of a
content
sudden
creator
you're a
now?
content creator.
I'm not knocking nobody hustle. I'm just just gonna let that be. Just let that be. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that anybody needs to be like an expert, but before you fully dive in, at least learn, the ground rules, learn the foundations before you dive in, because then what happens is a lot of people get very disappointed that they don't get the results they thought they were going to get.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of it you could have I don't know, like better prepared yourself to understand like what is the chances of you actually getting XYZ results.
Correct,
And
yeah.
then you have so many people jumping ship. But again, it's because we live in this instant gratification society.
You nailed it on the head.
Yeah.
Our parents were like, they worked a 9 to 5 like for 10
For-
years.
yeah.
Before they even saw a manager position.
Right.
Now they're like, hey, if I don't have it now, they instantly get disappointed or they go into this depression. But that has to do a lot with social media comparing their lives.
Social media, I feel like, I don't even want to call it that. It's like a necessary evil. It ain't necessary to nobody. Does
fair.
it give us access to things and information and people and connection? Sure. But I feel like as a society, we were able to have those things prior to social media. Did it take a little bit longer? Sure. But one thing that never stops passing by my mind is that we are not supposed to know this much information.
Totally.
I recently read this and I found it fascinating. We're not supposed to even be cognizant of how many other people are in existence at the same time that we're in existence.
That's crazy. Wait,
Like our mind is not
comprehend it.
to comprehend and develop to understand the capacity of other people that there are. We always kind of just evolved around the idea of like villages. You know that there exist other countries and other continents, but the fact that like in our minds we're basically downloading thousands, if not millions of faces on a daily basis because we're just scrolling, and all that information is just downloading. Our mind is expanding, but it's like at a rate that is not normal.
Yes,
So
data overload.
yeah, it's a lot more common these days for people to be depressed and a lot of even just like ADHD and anxiety and all these things. In my opinion, I do think that it stems from social media. It's so interesting, right? It's just you have the knowledge to know that this is happening, and yet we're not stopping ourselves. We're like consuming more and more.
Well, we contribute to it too, whether it's the artist, whether it's the musician, whether it's the marketer, whether it's the whoever, like it's the socialist. Everyone's on social media pouring out their thoughts,
Every waking
their
thought.
every waking idea, all the things in between. The job that social media has made it is to keep feeding the cycle, right? Which is
Right.
why like the algorithm doesn't work for people who post once every 6 months. Hi, my name's Kobe. I'm one of those people. But then there's also the people who they know it and they just keep going and they just keep feeding and keep feeding. And I'm like, big ups to y'all, dog. I can't do it.
I don't have the
I'm one of those people who like is somewhat social media illiterate. Like I don't have a TikTok still. I don't want one because I see what happens.
TikTok is absolutely dangerous. I'm not on it like that. I have an account occasionally I will post on the account, but there are times where when I go to post and then like TikTok's feed is built that it just automatically goes to the next thing. And so you don't have to like swipe, it just automatically loads the next video. And I've seen how easily you get sucked in without even, all I did was I posted something waiting for it to post and tell me. And in that wait, it just is showing me all this other things. And then you're like, haha, that's funny. Next thing you know, an hour has gone by and you're just like, wait, oh my God. Something. And like, at least I'm a bit self-aware to like, whoa, disconnect, close that thing, put it to the side.
Like, I hate talking about these things because like,
let's go.
Me, like right now I'm in a damn simulation.
Okay.
It's crazy. I love how he was nodding his head. I like where you are. Simulation. Yeah, this guy's fucking nuts.
I
wasn't going with that. We depend on AI. Elon Musk did buy Twitter for a reason, to learn how people think in actual time. So he puts it into his robots. Like this is Skynet. Like we're becoming friends with AI. And not only that, like when you said like the amount of content we take in on a daily basis, now we're becoming desensitized. So now we see dead people on Instagram and it ain't shit to us. I saw this video of the famous crash that happened recently on Fort Lauderdale with the plane crash. This dude recorded it from the bridge, the dead bodies being cooked alive, like from the impact.
Oh my God.
And he's laughing in the video. Like he's desensitized to death. And it sucks because that's how we're becoming. We're desensitized to your feelings. That's why we don't care how you feel nowadays. Like we're emotionless. It's become so artificial. We're becoming the AI. We're artificial. And now I'm pretty sure we're going to lead into the conversation of not just social media, but AI and the effect it's taking on the artist too. You could literally ask the internet, can you create a business plan from scratch, step by step in this? I want to be a producer. It will tell you the programs you need to buy, where to learn the software, how to get the engagement, how to create an email list. Literally, so that's why I said like now people are losing their jobs. So now like I could literally upload 15 artworks of mine onto the AI and it will create 350 characters based on how it think I will think. So it's pretty much Black Mirror all over again, where now I created a digital copy of myself online that I'm not aware of, that thinks like me, acts like me, because study my whole behavior of what I click, what I see longer, what triggers me, what gets me to comment. Now it's this little persona here is just creating because he's living in the matrix. Like it's a simulation within a simulation. So you have the ability. Oh, I'm gonna go off the rails.
I like where he's going though. Something I want to touch on that he was talking about was what happens when AI is the workforce.
It becomes the God.
Right? I saw a great conversation, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was essentially saying that what he sees happening is like the entertainment business booms even further, because what he's assuming will happen is you don't have jobs, right? People get laid off. Everyone's kind of out of work at some point, right? Or most of the population's out of work at some point. So they talk about universal basic income, and that being the thing that everybody will at some point get from the government, creating dependency on the government. Now your universal income is dependent on the government. You don't have to work to do anything really. So what do you spend this money on? It's on things to entertain you further, right? So you're already being trained into this entertainment. I'm just using my mind to be a consumer in living this space, right? So sales are going to continue to happen. They're going to continue to rise because all you'll be doing is sitting on your ass. So remember the video from China when they was dissing Trump about the warehouses, about the warehouse workers, and everybody was fat and everybody was sitting there just breathing heavy, whatever the case is. Imagine that, but without the factory. That's the world 30 years from here if we don't figure out.
In the movie Wall-E.
That's the movie. I was like, what is that movie where everyone's on these like little...
Wall-E.
Yeah.
We're dependent on
Totally. But I think, so this is us
you
having a conspiracy.
So Cuban, Wall-E.
Boy, I can't pronounce pizza, sandwich, like all those stuff. Like I'm horrible.
I'm not judging you.
That all the time.
Hey, we growing up Spanglish around here, dog. We don't judge. We're just in a rabbit hole, so just bear with us while we get this through. All of the things that we see in tech and media preemptively prompt us to believe that it's okay, right? So going back to your point on desensitization of us seeing death, you start to see cops kill somebody every month or so. Damn. And that's being a thing. At some point, by the time you get to a Breonna Taylor, everybody's like, why is it important?
Or to just take it a step further is controlling what people see. for example, we know that there are these riots that are happening right now in LA, but then the people in LA are like, these are not riots as we know them to be. People are just like peacefully protesting. And then the action or the reaction of the government is trying to make it seem like it's something bigger than it is. So people are like, hey, like I'm here. Like this is what's actually happening. Like, yes, we're protesting, but it's not a riot the way the media is trying to make it seem.
That's the thing. That's your algorithm.
Back to the point of if the media is being controlled and you're using platforms like Twitter, right, to make it seem to everybody like they're out of control. We have to do this. We have to react this way. They're going to come for you next. Then it's just kind of like the people who are not, I don't know. What do we call them?
I love
sheep?
this.
The sheep is very easy to control. They don't think for themselves.
It's manipulation slowly but surely, because to me, where I stand with these riots, look, man, I don't care. I took a lot of heat. I wore that red hat proudly at the time. But me as a proud Republican now, like I'm starting to look at this hat, like maybe I should take this hat off every now and then because
since we've pivoted to this,
I love this.
The reason I say
part of the
that,
conversation.
But the reason I say that is because like when you mentioned the riots, like I was in LA last week, but like I said, like your algorithm sees that, but then again, it's really bad. In my opinion, was supposed to have started as like a peaceful protest. It's like, hey, bro, this is up. Like, you guys shouldn't be sending our family home. We're not criminals. You ran on a campaign strictly pushing, hey, we want to deport nothing but thugs and immigrants that are coming into our quote-unquote rapists. And now you have happening, which is, I'm not proud of this because this is horrible. You should be celebrating your son's graduation that day. They're infiltrating the graduations now and deporting everyone at minority schools.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, we're just deporting numbers at this point. Like, to me, it's like this is a way to start a possible next civil war or kick in martial law. Because during the Black Lives Matter, guess what? They were leaving the bricks outside all the locations. That's exactly what they're doing again. And if you see the videos now, half of these people are throwing the bricks are emo skaters. They don't give a about the cause. They're probably Americans born here. Their parents are citizens. Okay. So it's just pure destruction. Now you're getting these white people like with masks. You're like, what are you doing here? You're not part of this movement. It's clear he's trying to start riots. And now guess what? It catches on. Monkey see, monkey do. Now you have the people breaking the bricks, throwing it. Now you're causing destruction. So guess what happens? Oh, now let's manipulate. Now we can control them. Look what they're doing. Yeah. And guess what? Homeboy, which I was proud of Trump, he's going to walk out of this and paint the narrative as the hero. Because now he's going to walk in like, look, man, look how much destruction is happening. I stopped this. That's why you need me. And now we're possibly running on a third term, which I think is super unconstitutional. I don't think that should ever happen. What was the last president, though?
I think Franklin Roosevelt was our last three-term president. I think it's interesting, right? And then I know we're like really far in the convo, essentially. But I think this is interesting because, man, to me, this is why Palestine is important. This is why Black Lives Matter is important. This is why people protesting during George Floyd is important. This is why people protesting when Haitians are being deported or being told, hey, they can't enter through Texas, we send them back. Like, these things are all connected, right? And the reason I say it's interesting and the reason I set it up this way is so you got to understand. They said, okay, they did nothing when we did it to them. They did nothing when we did it to them. They did nothing when we did it to them.
We'll continue doing it.
They did nothing when we did it to them. They can't stop us. Right. They haven't stopped us, and they don't understand as a collective, they're stronger than us. So we just continue to divide them and make them fight each other while we continue to do the things that we do versus, hey, my Mexican brother, my Latin sister, my Black brother, my Asian, whatever the case is, we are on the outs. When you were German and you came to America, you were not white. When you were Jewish and came to America, they were not white. Right. When you were Irish and came to America, you were not white. Right. But we've changed the rules. Oh, you don't like Black people too? Oh, you don't like Mexicans too? Oh, you good over here. You can hang out with us now. The Italians, when they came as well, same thing, right?
Oh, the Cubans, Maria too.
Yeah. Same thing. So when you sit here and you start to see the same tactic over and over and over, and then you don't look and say, hey, our common enemy is everyone who's not this.
Because they play, and this is what people don't understand, or the people who are easily fooled, is that they play into colorism and classism because to me, and we can talk about why would you vote for Trump? Why would Cubans vote for Trump? Why would Venezolanos vote for Trump? Why would anybody in the immigrant community in South Florida vote for Trump, right? Like that's a question a lot of other immigrants have. And you won't understand it until you really understand the colorism within the Hispanic community.
That part.
Right? That I don't consider myself, you know, adjacent to you because I'm more white passing. Oh yeah, Trump did say that they were gonna deport people, but like not me. I have money and I don't really look like those people. The criminals, right? The criminals look like this. They're all the black and brown Hispanics and I don't look like that, right? So it's very easy to manipulate people into thinking that the things Trump is very vocal about doing while as he's running his campaign points is like, how did you not think that this was going to affect all Hispanic people? Why would you think that, for example, the Venezolanos in Doral, big, huge immigrant community in Doral, and they've been coming out in the news a lot. There was recently a news conference. There's a coalition of Venezolanos in Doral, and they were crying and as their reaction to what was going on. And because it was Venezolanos, Haitians, and I forget what other.
The people he just said that were banned? Or the
Yeah,
countries that are
it was
banned?
three. It was Venezolanos, Haitians, and one other. I don't know. I don't think it was Cubans. I could be wrong. And so they're in this news coverage and they're crying and everybody's like, why are you crying? Like, what made you think that you were exempt? Why did you not feel that all the points he was making during his campaign were going to affect you or your family? And so again, I think that this just has to do with the colorism within the Hispanic community, that outsiders see it, outsiders comment on it a lot. Within the community, people act like racism doesn't exist within, because, oh, we're all Hispanic. Like, yes, it can exist within our own community, you know? Not to say that that was the reason you voted for Trump, but now we can pivot to that conversation. You have engaged in a lot of controversial conversation on social media. As you mentioned, you've gotten, your ass chewed out because of being a Cuban Cuban-Honduran who has supported Trump. And as you mentioned, you had worn the hat and people made commentary and upset. And you didn't really falter from that being your alignment. Before we get into where you stand now, I'm just curious, what were some of the things that spoke to you? You're listening to Growing Up Spanglish, recorded right here at CoLab Studios in Miami. Whether you're launching a podcast, shooting video content, or leveling up your brand, CoLab has the space, gear, and community to make it happen. Fast turnaround time, pro setup, and a creative vibe you won't find anywhere else. Need a studio? Pull up to CoLab. Book your free tour today at letscollab.us. That's Let's Collab with 1L.us. Ahora, back to the show.
At the end of the day, these two are in bed. And that's what I want people to think. The same way that blacks are getting pinned against whites and whites against blacks to keep us divided. That's exactly what the Democrat and the Republican Party is. Because at the end of the day, it's the bigger picture. It's like history repeated itself all over again. You asked me the question like, well, why did we come to Trump again? Well, at the end of Obama's administration, Obama had the biggest deportation in history of immigrants. I'm not even lying. So what happened? Comes a guy that has a kitchen talk and is like, and got to be like, yo, the country's going to shit. We need a person like us, like in office, which is Trump. In other words, he doesn't know shit about politics. He's good at business. The guy just talks out of his ass like you and me. And I'm not a politician. You're not a politician. We're just like, yo, bro, shit's going crazy. Like, yo, let's just make up change and put this guy. What's the worst that happens? Shit doesn't work out. I'll put him in office. What happens? COVID came around. We weren't able to see what Trump was really capable of. A year and a half in, we got COVID. Everybody was locked in their houses, whatever. Then came, they're like, yo, bro, this guy is the reason why COVID came to the United States. He should have handled the closing the borders differently. We should have not been on the scale. And they're like, yo, this guy didn't handle it right. We need new blood in the office. Let's go back to Democrats again. So now we got Biden in the office, which started great. But what's going to happen is the same thing happened. his age started decaying in office. He wasn't there. I'd rather have a president that's very outspoken than a president that can't even complete a sentence. So at that point, bro, we can't. Our economy's shit. I'm sick and tired of paying all these prices. Like, my house is at an all-time high. What's up? Like, I could have bought a house at $200,000. That same house is $700,000 in less than 2 years. These PPP loans got scammed. A lot of people took advantage of the government. No, we need somebody in office again. Let's give this guy a second term. So that's what's happening. It's like, so now we're dividing people. Because they're like, hey, I'm a Republican. Like, bro, there's some stuff that the Democrats say that I don't agree with. But there's some stuff the Democrats say, like, I agree with. You see a red hat and call me a racist. It's nuts. You know I'm not a racist. So now you're just like, who's the bigot? You or me? Because now you're basing stuff on emotion. The reason I voted for him because I'm like, bro, there's some stuff that's getting out of control already. Hey, everyone's welcome to this country. And then you start like weaponizing, like to get us to pin us against one another. Everyone's coming in through a border. And this is why I get upset. Because my mother, and I might get emotional, is like, my mother's been here for ever, dude. My mom left her country at a very young age, right? She applied for paperwork for ever, bro. Asilo político for my dad. They didn't give her that. All the lawyers kept her, never got the paperwork. When she finally got her paperwork to go back, we finally go back after like 30 years. I go to Honduras with my mom. 3 months later, her mom dies.
Wow.
Then you have all these motherfuckers that are coming in now. In less than 3 months, they have paperworks. How the did my mom get her paperwork 30 years ago? She's been paying her taxes, putting all her work. All these Haitians have been here, little Haiti, for years. Are they getting their paperwork? No, right? And then comes the hatred from the Cubans. You step on here and you get your paperwork instantly. And that's up. And it's almost like they pin us against all the other nationalities. But a lot of people, if you study history, the U.S. is the hardest.
Man.
Because they turned their back on us during the Bay of Pigs. When we were supposed to take out a communist leader, Kennedy said, we got your back. And when they went into like knock out Castro out of power, guess what's up? You got 300 soldiers lined up solid. You got manslaughter because they never got the backup from them. And I get it now in the older years, like Kennedy was trying to stop a third world war.
Yeah.
So like, sorry, Hispanicness. So stuff like that comes into play. So I get frustrated, and that's why I'm like, bro, like this immigration shit is getting out of control. And this is why I get mad at the Trump organization now. Bro, if these have been in here forever, those should be the ones that get like, hey, bro, we're going to pardon you because you paid your taxes, you've never done any crime. There should be a legal system where we legalize you. But like there was a joke going around that, yo, all you have to do is like go out of the country, come back in, cross the border, you got papers. Like do the right thing because there's a difference between a Cubano from back then and a Cubano de ahora. You got the Cuban that come in, all he talks about wanting to drive a Mustang, the golden chains, the insurance fraud, piece of shit. And then you got the old school Cuban that he's like, bro, I witnessed dictatorship. Yeah. I got screwed over. My parents died just by talking against my government. Whether we're up or not, we live in the greatest country of the world. Because right now what we're saying, in other countries, we would have got our heads cut off. Treason.
I think that like you touched on a lot of points that I can understand from the perspective of like on both sides, there's two extremes. The left is too far left. The right is too far right.
I agree. 100%.
No one's meeting in the middle. There's no point of what's called a ZOPA. A ZOPA, when you're negotiating, is essentially a zone of where we can speak and we'll probably meet at a common ground.
Yeah.
And there's this understanding of in this space here, we are going to find our ZOPA, whatever that may look like. I think you're right? Like essentially, hey, you guys are doing this incorrectly. You want everything to be quickly. You're not doing the work to make it bipartisan in the sense of we're actually going to assess everyone's situation and go from it. Yeah, we caught you in the States. You're illegal. We're not going to send you to a detention camp. What we're actually going to do is let you go back home. We'll come visit you and figure out what's what. It's no guarantee you'll stay here. It's no guarantee we'll send you back. We want to make things right. And I think ICE is being positioned as military police. And that's one of the reasons that like the world is against it. Everyone's like, yo, this isn't right. It's the way that they're doing the pulling of people, essentially, right? You're creating these encampments. It all looks and feels familiar. So that's a part of it. So for the people who are from Cuba, who have seen a true communist regime, that looks similar to them. It's scary. For the Jewish people who were in Germany when Hitler were around and raised their kids to understand that, yo, there was a time where we weren't able to be here, that story is now being to some degree realized in real time, and we're seeing these things again to some degree. And I think something that you said was profound was people don't know their history. The thing with not knowing your history is it repeats itself, and you can't see patterns, and you can't say that's not right, that's not how this should be. We've seen this here before, we've been here before. I'm currently reading the autobiography of Malcolm X, and it's so crazy how much he is speaking on that is still extremely relevant today. This book is written in the 1950s, 60s, somewhere in that ballpark, 1960s. We're 60 years removed from the 60s. We're almost a century and nothing's changed essentially. We're still in the same position. I think part of that is because everyone can't get on the same page, right? In regards to, hey, I've been here. I've watched black people go through it. I've watched Asians go through it. I watched Irish go through it. I've watched Germans go through it. I've watched anyone who wasn't a white American man go through it. And I say white American man specifically because even from the standpoint of how they view their white women, they don't look at them as you are part of
Equal.
Yeah, you're equal this way. No. We're above you still. You just reap the benefactors of the life that we live because we set the rules on how this thing goes. I say that to say we all have a common enemy and we're not looking at what the common enemy is. One more thing that you said was, hey, everyone's complaining about PPP loans and all these things in regards to like the way the economy currently is. One thing that I want to clarify is the way the economy currently is still based off of Trump. Biden got handed an economy that was going into deeper debt because of COVID. PPP loans, buyouts, unemployment, all of these federal enactments that happened during COVID to allow money to be shelled out. And then you have a regression come from it because the Fed goes, hey, the money's too accessible. We have to spike interest rates, making everything impossible to purchase, to slow the spend of money, to slow the access of money. And that's kind of continued. So now what you're seeing with home prices, that's the new baseline. They were hoping it would go back down. No, it's worse now. It's higher home prices, higher interest rate, all based on what was flooding our streets money-wise from 2020, 2021, 2022. So while Biden is still in office or gets a run at office, and I know we're however many years removed, he's not able to do anything because the debt's already too high. The interest rates are already locked where they are. And then from the standpoint of access or people having the access, rates are still too high. So like accessing the money is different. What they're hoping happens is that Trump will work with the Fed, right, to some degree to get rates down. People will buy again or borrow again so they can buy again. But this all stems from COVID, 2019, 2020, during Trump's economy. He actually got handed over a very successful economy from Obama. And I'm not sitting here trying to like, if you notice, I didn't say.
I was still relatively young, so I haven't looked into it.
No, that's fair. If you notice, I purposely didn't say Democrats, Republicans. Like none of that matters to me because at the end of the day, we're all in the same shit pot, right? Like we're all in the same bucket. Like the people who sit there and go, hey, I didn't expect DEI to affect me. Yeah, because you thought it was going to affect us. And the reality is it didn't affect us because we didn't get in the door through DEI in the first place. I don't benefit from DEI. I got here, the space and being able to be in the office and space
you're good at what you do.
Because I'm great at what I do.
100%.
I bust my ass to be
100%.
here. I paid for school out of my pocket. There were no doors that opened to me because of programs and all the things in between. DEI actually benefited Asian students at Harvard. It benefited white women in the workplace. It benefited people who didn't think they were a beneficiary. And now those things are being pulled back and they're like, wait, it's what? Oh my, what?
Right.
Yeah. You're sitting there being nasty to another, not understanding your nasty to another is going to end up with a nasty to yourself because they're just seeing how far they can get with doing the things that they do before an entire population speaks up.
Goes back to what I was saying about that's the way you can control people, because we are saying that it's been about 60 years removed, right, since the book you're reading or since Malcolm X expressed these ideas and everything that happened during that time period and civil rights and all those things. and even in looking at history and how it repeats itself, like at the base root of it all, the two things that control people is race and money. That's it.
I would have said fear too.
But what are you using? What is the tool that you're using to create that fear? Race and money. So if you're always pitting races against each other, and then also using money as that tool, that's how you control people. Yeah. And then when people assimilate, right? So I'm Asian, I'm benefiting from this DEI, but I've assimilated to whiteness. So I feel like it's not going to affect me. Same thing as I'm discussing about Hispanics. I've assimilated to whiteness. So even though I'm an immigrant, and you mentioned immigrants that have spent 30 years here and been active participants, good citizens, paying taxes, but, this thing that Trump wants to do, it won't affect me because I'm a good person. I'm a good citizen. I'm a good immigrant, right? So it's, again, that assimilation, that proximity to whiteness, and all of a sudden I forget my plight and my struggle, right? So these are the things that are being utilized. I think it's crediting Trump too much because it's kind of what you said. It's
I guess to a point where people are fed up.
But pretty much saying that, like, we can't sit here and say that it's the Democrats or the Republicans, right? Because at the core of it all, like, it's strings that are being pulled, and sometimes we don't even know who are the puppet masters.
Really, when you mentioned the whole part of like, the diversity hires and Chinese people, who are we to blame that Chinese guy that wants to go to Harvard and kill us and everything? As kids, how many of us did we not ask financial aid? What did we do with our financial aid when it came to Miami-Dade College?
I couldn't get financial aid, but what did you do? Did you get financial aid?
Dude, a lot of people emptied their cards out and used it to buy sneakers and all this crazy shit and never even got a degree from Miami-Dade. So you can't get mad at the immigrant that comes over here legally, illegally, that benefits off of all our programs, ends up working for NASA,
Right.
and then you're like, those damn immigrants are taking my job. He was never going to do that job to begin with. He was never going to go to school to begin with.
What's crazy is, I know him and Danny did not vote for the same person, but it's essentially, right, the same conversation on both sides.
Except we're labeled.
Right? Yeah. Except you're labeled. Like, she was essentially saying the same thing of, like, I came to the States and I figured out which programs and the things to use and all the information to use. And then it goes back to how we were saying, like, they're being told these people are taking your jobs. They never even took your jobs because you didn't want to you didn't want to be the person to
do that job.
To do that job in the first place.
I love when you brought up Malcolm X.
Yeah.
You know why the youth is where it's at? Because we don't have a Malcolm X. We spread ignorance through our communities.
Right.
We're the leaders in the black
them.
community, in the Hispanic community.
We call them crazy. We say they're crazy.
Yeah, we label
because
them.
they're using social media to try to spread their message, and we say that they're crazy.
We shut them down.
They're too woke.
With that being said, it's like there's no morals no more.
Right.
Everything's like they sold their soul to the dollar. We do need another Malcolm X. We do need another Martin Luther King. We do need another Jose Marti. We need people to lead the youth, which is completely lost, and be like, hey, this is wrong. We got to go back to family values. We need to have God at home. Whether you believe in God or not, I think the book shares a bunch of great morals and stories to relate to life.
I want to just read this from the book. And I know this is growing up Spanglish and Malcolm X is essentially a black man. But I think the message is important for everyone who's non-white in America, right? The world's non-whites know how this Negro here has loved the American white man and slaved for him, tended to him, nursed him. This Negro has jumped into uniform and gone off and died when this America was attacked by enemies both white and non-white. Such a faithful, loyal, non-white as this, and still America bombs him and sets dogs on him and turns fire hoses on him and jails him by the thousands and beats him bloody and inflicts upon him all other manners of crime. And essentially he's saying, like, yo, for those of you who are non-white, how could you look at white people and be like, they care about me, knowing that the most loyal race, though we've been through 400 years of slavery, though we've been through X, Y, and Z, is still downtrodden, still beaten on, still not loved, still not cared for. What makes you think they could love you the way that you love them, or even want to see them love you at some point?
Does he answer it?
He doesn't.
Oh, because it's proximity to whiteness.
Do you realize the reason why there's no guns in California was because of the Black Panthers? Did you know that?
I believe that.
It's because legally they were able to bear arms and show up at these protests with guns. And the only way, how can we get these black men to stop essentially intimidating the cops and having them back up, because they will all show up with M16s and it was their right to carry arms. Well, we're going to ban weapons in California now. So guess what? Now it's like, we're going to they don't have guns. They're not going to shoot us. Now we could literally flip on them.
So
we could send the dogs.
That answers your question as well about where is this generation's Malcolm X and the Martin Luthers in this?
They change the rules.
They keep changing the rules to ensure that other people, the next generation, doesn't rise up.
What's happening now? You speak on social media, they shadow ban your account, which is something that's been done to mine. Let's not repeat history. You said, we do not want another possible third term in office. Do I approve of Trump the same way I did the first time? No, obviously, my views have changed because I'm seeing stuff. I'm like, bro, that's unfair. The raids in graduation schools on the most important day of a child, and you traumatize a child for life, and you're taking their parents away. If you really care about this country, instead of why are you not just sending them back to their country now, you're sending them to a private prison. Why are you sending them to a private prison? I could get deeper with that shit. Obviously,
they're making money.
They're making money. Yeah. I really hope we get a new person and someone that actually gets put into office. I hope that
AOC.
I honestly think AOC, she's all over the place. But if she finds her lane, we might have something good in her hand. She needs the right guidance.
Yeah.
And she's young. She needs to hop off social media and try to appeal to trends.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back, and then we'll dive more into Coinslot's art and talk to you guys soon.
Stay tuned next week as we bring you part 2 of this conversation.
Yo soy boricua.